Welcome back to SpeterTV, or maybe just welcome if you're new. Feel free to subscribe, by the way. And man, another year, another SpongeBob's ending hoax. It happens so often that it might as well be an internet tradition at this point. And it's obvious why it happens. The show's been on for almost 2 decades now, so of course it's been on for a while, so we're kind of paranoid that it could end at some point soon. And of course it's been on for so long, which means that it's older than some of us, so we're attached to it. I remember when it premiered, I was in, pre-K, I think? It's been on forever, it's part of our lives now. And of course that means that anytime you can spread a rumor about it ending, that means free likes and retweets. That's all we care about anymore. But since the idea of SpongeBob being over is always sort of in the back of our minds, I have to wonder, when will it end? Now obviously I don't have the answer to that, and I don't know if there's anyone who does. Now let's look at other long-running cartoons that are still on. There's Family Guy, which has been on since 1999 just like SpongeBob, but unlike SpongeBob, it's been cancelled twice and came back twice. Now of course there's also The Simpsons, which has been on since 1989. Now they're both Fox shows, though Family Guy is also a staple of Adult Swim, and they're both of course not intended to be kids shows. But what all three do have in common is insane popularity, and of course with that is a whole bunch of money from product sales and marketing and things like that. So they're network staples and cash cows, which means it's a really hard decision to say, hey, this is over now. It is probably pretty obvious to say that SpongeBob is still Nickelodeon's main breadwinner, and not breadwinners. But the Fairly OddParents used to be a really big show for them also, and even though that's just now ending really, it really got pushed aside a few years ago, and got pushed all the way to Nicktoons Network last year. So Nickelodeon's cash cows aren't entirely untouchable, but SpongeBob is the big one. It does make sense that they'd save him over everybody else. SpongeBob has grown to be on a level with Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny and guys like that. Why am I talking like these are real people? But that leads me to think about Mickey Mouse cartoons and Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry, Scooby-Doo too. All of these shows are more or less still on in different capacities, but they're from a totally different era. They've lasted this long by having different TV shows and reformatting themselves over and over. You might even say they survived because of decades of reboots. And I look at SpongeBob and see him as a character on their level now, but I don't see the show as that kind of show. I don't think Nickelodeon would stop SpongeBob SquarePants as a TV show and then reformat it into something else, like, I don't know, The SpongeBob Show. Something slightly different title, but I don't know, he's on stage introducing shorts and stuff like that, I don't know. But something like how Mickey Mouse has the House of Mouse, or even Mickey Mouse Clubhouse for little kids. He has all kinds of different shows. SpongeBob just has SpongeBob, and 2, soon to be 3 movies. And you do have to wonder if that 3rd movie in 2020 will be the end, maybe. I have no idea. Remember, the first movie is still the series finale. Everything after it just takes place before it. Not that SpongeBob really cares about chronology that much anyway, but still. I could see them saying, hey, we've had 2 decades of this show, and a movie trilogy. At this point, we've done all we can. I just don't see Nickelodeon moving on with a different show in a new format with SpongeBob. I think for them, SpongeBob is going to be SpongeBob SquarePants, and that's it. But I could be totally wrong, I'm not really sure why I feel that way. But I also think the end could be tied to series creator and executive producer Steven Hillenburg. He announced last year that he's battling ALS. And if you don't know what ALS is, in short, it's a nervous system disease where your nerve cells break down and your muscles and physical functions really decrease. It can be extremely debilitating over time. And Hillenburg, who came back to the day-to-day production of the show ahead of the 2nd movie, said that he'll be working on the show as long as he can. So I have to wonder, if his condition does deteriorate to the point that he can't contribute the way he wants to, will they end the show on his terms this time? See, he wanted to end the show after the 1st movie, but Nickelodeon didn't want to, so they continued without him. But this time around, if he wants the show to end when he feels like he can't do any more with it, I wonder if Nickelodeon will acquiesce. And by the way, SpongeBob taught me the word acquiesce, so this show is educational. Alright, well thank you for watching. Like this video, dislike it, whichever one feels right. Share, subscribe, comment, set this video to Wumbo. See you next time.